beautiful garden. That garden is you. No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The garden that recognizes the God in you, the God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you this morning? Nice to see all of you. Anybody have to take the roundabout route to get in the driveway? Yes, I know. I'm expecting a few more people to trickle in once they figure out they need to go around the block. That little incident down there in the middle of the block should be cleared up shortly. They look like they were kind of wrapping things up, but that could be why there's a few of you not here today. So we just know that in spirit there is no time and space or distance, that everyone who is part of this community is already in this community, and how good it is to come together on a Sunday morning. I want to make sure to acknowledge those folks that are out there on the live stream. Everybody wave. You are here, part of us too, and we are so grateful that you are in this community with us. So, with that said, let's take a look at who's here this morning. Our practitioner this morning is the lovely Diane. You know, our practitioners do not only the opening prayer and a reading, they're also available for prayer support. And what we do in Science of Mind is affirmative prayer. In other words, we align ourselves with the greater truth, for there is always a greater truth at work. There is always the invisible moving into form. And when you have a practitioner who is praying with you, who is affirming the truth for you, what you will find is that there is an ease and a grace in the way things unfold. And who doesn't need a little more ease and grace? So make sure that you tap that practitioner on the shoulder, ask for that prayer support after service. It is their gift to you on Sunday. And also they're available during the week. We have a prayer request box if you want to put in a written request that's confidential, or you can leave a message on our phone line. There's a particular option that allows you to leave a confidential message, and your request goes into prayer with all of our practitioners for the week. Okay, we also have a little bit of music over here. We've got Jeff on keyboards. Glad to see you, Jeff. And singing for us this morning is the lovely Kat Adams. Yay! All right, my friends, so let's start by getting centered, shall we? And if folks come in, as we are doing this, simply breathe and welcome them silently into this space. So for now, let the sound of the bowl take you into your heart space. That place within that knows love, that knows light, that knows peace, that knows joy in and through all things. That sanctuary of the divine within that knows our oneness.
And in this peace of this inside this beautiful chapel, let us open prayer today. Let us start with thanksgiving. It's through thanksgiving and gratitude that we gain everything. So let's start by giving thanks for each one here today, that you're in good health, that you're able to drive here, that you're able to walk in and sit down and open your heart for the message today. Let's give thanks for our technicians who set up the sound system, who've set up Zoom. The people at home have an opportunity to hear today's message. We're so grateful for our wonderful, diverse community, for our loving friends, for this beautiful center. We give grateful thanks for our wonderful minister who gives us wonderful, perfect messages. Whatever it is your heart was seeking, I know for you today that you will hear the answer in today's message. We give grateful thanks for the running of our center, for the peace in our hearts. We give thanks that the world is healing, and for all the good that is happening around us that comes from within each one of us. So today, as we sit here today, let that gratitude go from you into the ethers all around us, that it may be spread through the whole world, and we are all in gratitude and peace. And so it is. Today's reading is from Ernest Holmes, and he starts with Psalms 34:19. They that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. Success does not mean the accumulation of wealth, the maintenance of pension or a position or supremacy of power. Success means a life free from the burden of anxiety, liberated from fear. There is no successful life without peace, or without the inner spiritual certainty that knows that the soul is on the pathway of good, forever expanding into the conscious union of God with humanity. Today, I expect every good thing to come to me. Everything that is worthy of the soul, I anticipate. Everything that belongs to the spirit, I accept. Everything that partakes the nature of divine reality, I claim as my own. Today, I identify myself with abundance and success. I know that my destiny is divine, that my destination is certain, and that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. I know that this kingdom contains everything necessary to my well-being. In my gratitude and with joy, I receive this kingdom into myself. Only remember that we are surrounded by a universal subjectivity that is receptive, neutral, and personal, always receiving the impress of our thoughts, and it has no alternative other than to operate directly upon it, thus creating the things we think. That's it.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Good. I got a new song. It's our second song we're going to do that we passed out a little thing so we can learn it together. And I know we're still in our masks, but I'm looking forward to the moment where we get to take the masks off and raise our voices up, so we'll learn it. And then when that day comes, yippee! Okay. So this one, this song I love so much. This reminds me of being an agent of change, and that all of us can be an agent of change immediately, in the moment, almost constantly. If what we used to call right mindset, if we have right mindset. So I was thinking about this song, and it puts me in the right mindset. So I hope it'll do a little something of that for you too. Our spirit and our prayer shifting the atmosphere till the heavens are open. This spirit is lifting the atmosphere for breakthroughs in my thinking. Our worship is shifting the atmosphere. It's moving. It's moving. All our being, shifting the atmosphere. Every soul is included. Every heart is open. Spirit is shifting the atmosphere. I know it's moving, lifting. Our worship is shifting the atmosphere till our hearts fall open. Open up this glorious morning. Spirit is shifting the atmosphere. I feel it moving as it's lifting. Our prayers shifting the atmosphere. Every yoke will be destroyed. Yes, every chain is broken. Our praise is shifting the atmosphere. Ooh. We can be the engines of change if we're shifting the atmosphere. We can do that.
Well, that put me in just a real kind of dreamy place. Thank you. That was beautiful. So we'll light our candle this morning for gratitude for this kinder world that we are creating. How many of you are still doing your kindness cards? Yes. Having fun with it a little bit? Any great surprises? Any lovely ahas? Yes, Jan, tell me. Oh, so you were about offering and hadn't noticed the receiving. Oh, anybody else? Or perhaps you noticed the receiving and didn't offer. So how did that work out for you the second week? Made sure. Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. So there's two sides to kindness. There's the kindness that you offer, and then there's the kindness that you receive. And what we're talking about today is that cycle, that synergy that happens between gratitude and kindness, because it's a very similar emotion. You know, when we're appreciative and grateful, we are kinder because we see what needs to be done. When we receive kindness, we are more grateful, and you can see where this continues to grow. And that's really what we're doing. We're building a new habit of awareness, a new view from our consciousness of where kindness is and how it shows up both in us and in the world. So I'm going to start this morning with our main quote today by Henry Van Dyke. He says that gratitude is the inward feeling of kindness received. Thankfulness is the natural impulse to express that feeling. And thanksgiving is the following of that impulse. So kindness received engenders gratitude, and gratitude is a way of feeling thankful. And to give thanks, or to give love, to give kindness, to give compassion, because that's all wrapped up in there, is in fact to express the love that life is, the love that we are. It is one form of the very energy of life. And it's in that appreciating, in that noticing and being grateful for, in that attitude of life is good, and even when it's hard, there's still good in it, and even someone who's not very nice still has good in them, and the ability to appreciate and be grateful or thankful for and in all circumstances creates a sense of joy and happiness in us. You know, it's been said that being happy doesn't create gratitude. Being grateful creates happiness. It truly is the way of happiness in life. David Steindl-Rast is a monk and an author, and you've probably heard many of his things. But I want to read his short essay on gratitude. He says, everything is a gift. The degree to which we are awake to this truth is a measure of our gratefulness. Day and night, gifts keep pelting down on us. If we were aware of this, gratefulness might overwhelm us. But we go through life in a daze. A power failure makes us aware of what a gift electricity is. A sprained ankle lets us appreciate walking as a gift. A sleepless night, sleep. How much are we missing in life by noticing gifts only when we are suddenly deprived of them? Grateful living is a celebration of the universal give and take of life, a limitless yes to belonging. Gratefulness is the key to a happy life, because if we are not grateful, no matter how much we have, we will not be happy, because we will always want to have something else or something more. The eyes see only light, the ears hear only sound, but a listening heart perceives meaning. A listening heart perceives meaning. You know, when you think about the pandemic and the ways in which what we saw and heard were so changed, and how we had to come to an understanding of what we held valuable, what we thought was important, because the usual activities were taken away. Like the power outage making you think, you know, electricity is a pretty nice thing to have. So we know that gratitude is a good thing. We know this because we've been taught since childhood to say thank you, whether we felt like it or not. You know, your great aunt gives you that weird sweater thing you're supposed to wear, and you're supposed to say thank you, you know, or your mom makes you write the thank you note and send it before you can play with the toy. Now that's harsh when you're 7, you know. But the truth is, we've been trained to say thank you. We've been trained to respond to a kindness with gratitude. The thing is, that's not the whole story. That's like training wheels, right? That's the practice. We practice it until we tap into our own nature, which is to be appreciative, to be grateful someone is kind, to perhaps in turn offer kindness to someone else. But we are moving past the idea that gratitude is a response to something that happens from the outside. Gratitude is actually an attitude. Eric Butterworth says it's an attitude by which we touch everything. I like that. What if everything that I touch in my life, I do so with a sense of appreciation? What if I move through my day with an awareness of how blessed I am? You know, I couldn't park in our parking lot because I came up from the south and the street was blocked, and I pulled into the school parking lot on the corner there by the stop sign to turn around and saw that Ed and Susie were parking there. Well, that's brilliant. Let's just park here. I mean, I can walk half a block. How grateful I am to be able to walk, for the beautiful day, for the friends to walk with, for the emergency people that show up when there's an emergency, even if they do block the street. It's not just a response to what happens, it's also in and of me, where I am grateful in my life. You know, I spend a lot of time looking for stories and quotes and, you know, inspiration from other authors in science of mind and new thought and philosophers in general. And I came across this great quote, and it turns out that I wrote it. Who knew? It's one of my memories that popped up on Facebook when I was doing a month's worth of gratitude a couple years ago, and I said, I'm grateful in my life, period. Gratitude isn't a response to or really even for something. It's an attitude of appreciation and trust in my life. What is here now is exactly right for me, and I am blessed, another period. Yeah, it's gratitude in all things, not for, not because of. Sure, you better say thank you or your mom will get on you. But it's also the way in which we look at the world, and it has to do with coming from the heart, right? It's the heartfelt response to life that causes us to find the meaning, to seek the connection, to understand that when we exchange something, whether it's words or a smile or an act of kindness, there is a connection there, there's a belonging there that fills my heart. You know, we're here to live purposefully. We're here to love. And we navigate the world, hopefully, in a way that allows us to bring that awareness of love into everyday life. Think back to the beginning of the pandemic. A year and a half ago in March, April. Think about what you heard at that time. All we heard about were the possibilities of the hospitals being overrun. And what we saw were the restrictions and limitations as to what we could do. What we couldn't see, we were afraid of. We were afraid to touch anything for fear of spreading a disease we could not see. And so with the removal of all the activities that we normally would do, the going here, the going there, the going to work, the buying this, all that went away. When that happened, the heart had a little room to breathe, to think, to ponder, to feel. And what came out of that, in that vacant space left by all that activity we were no longer doing, we learned what it was that the heart truly values. We learned what was important to us. We got creative so that we could connect to each other, so that we could talk to each other and see each other through a window, through a door, driving by. We worked at what we really wanted, which was that feeling of belonging, of being safe, of being loved, of being able to love someone. What we found was the true source of the feelings we all look for. We thought that all of the stuff, all the good stuff in life and the way we were happy and excited and joyous was because we went here or we bought that or we saw these people or we won the lottery or whatever it was we thought that was giving us our satisfaction. And when all that's taken away, what happens? We still find ways to feel joy, to feel love, to feel connected, to belong. And we do it because we're very clear that it's the connection itself which raises our consciousness, broadens our perspective, and it is an expression of gratitude that lets us see more rightly. We got really grateful for every little thing, right? Every little thing. Rumi says we should wear gratitude like a cloak. Apparently he says it on a piece of paper I don't have up here. We are to wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every corner of our lives. I love that. It will feed every corner of our lives. Think about a cloak. You know, you swirl it on, right? You don't just put it on. You got to put the cloak on. It envelops you. It protects you from the weather, perhaps. Maybe it has a hood to keep you dry. It keeps you warm. You can sort of snuggle underneath it like a blanket in a way you can't with your basic jacket or sweater or shirt. You have room to include someone else. That cloak is a magical thing, and when that cloak is of gratitude, then you are surrounding and enveloping yourself in the energy of awareness and appreciation and love. Because what we appreciate grows. It nourishes us. You know, when we are not happy, we have no energy. When we are not connected, we feel depleted. All it takes is one person with an extra smile or grabbing that bag you almost dropped or giving you directions, good directions. And suddenly the world's a brighter place, right? Right. Well, we can do that on purpose. It's a superpower. It's like putting on a cape. It energizes us. It feeds every corner of our lives. The title today is Thank You Kindly. I heard that expression a lot when I lived in Virginia. Thank you kindly. And the word kind means according to our nature. Right? Like you have the same kind of things, like they're similar in nature. Well, kindly is according to our nature. We are thankful by nature. We appreciate good stuff by nature. You take a taste of something wonderful, you can appreciate that, right? You don't have to think about it. You don't have to hear your mom's voice in your head saying, appreciate that. No, you just do it. It's just who we are. Ernest Holmes tells us that gratitude is salutary. Now, every time I read that quote, I have to look up that word. Salutary means beneficial. Now, most of the time it means beneficial to your health. So gratitude is beneficial to your health. But what we also know is the word health has the same root as the word whole. So it is the consciousness of wholeness that gratitude is engendering. Why? Because when I feel grateful and connected and happy, you're not the other or the enemy or to be avoided or scaring me. When I'm grateful, we're all kumbaya, we're all one, right? So there's a consciousness of oneness that happens when we are aware that we are thankful for our lives, that we are thankful in our lives. Truly is the way of happiness, and happy people are kind. Grateful people share. And isn't this holiday all about celebrating what we share? You know, there's a symbol of this huge table filled to overflowing with everybody's favorite foods. but it's really just an emblem of the life that we share, the bounty that is spread out before us, that we are all meant to gather around. And in appreciation for what we have, and in that circle, it doesn't matter what our differences are. It doesn't matter our age, our gender. It doesn't matter our opinion or our childhood. What matters is that we are aware and appreciative of all that we have to share. And that's good and very good. So grateful living really does give us a kinder world, both inside of ourselves and out in the daily life, right where we are. Right where we are. Last year, I can very distinctly remember saying, after feeling so disappointed that Thanksgiving was going to be a solo affair, you know, with two of us at home. I grew up with 40 Italian, loud, noisy people, all in a crammed Van Nuys apartment, right? I mean, Thanksgiving is people everywhere, and that's my idea of a good time. Not Pat so much. She's a little bit shyer. But in my family, it was a big deal, and I just remember being so disappointed that that wasn't going to happen last year, and I told myself, next year is going to be a big party. I am so ready for a big party. And you know what? I got to this year, which is last year's next year. Get that? Not so much now. Not so much now. I appreciate the connection. I will call my great aunt and make sure that I talk to her and my cousins. But it's not about being there so much as appreciating the love and connection of family, no matter what it looks like. Our 15-year-old nephew said something really sweet just this last week. His mom was telling, they live in upstate New York, and his mom was telling him they were going to drive down to their grandpa's house, and there was going to be a bunch of extended family there, cousins, and, you know, first time they've been able to do that. And Sammy, bless his heart, he's 15 years old. He says, Mom, he says, remember last year when Dad made us watch Die Hard, and you cooked, and we had fancy sodas? He said, that's what I really want. Yeah, that's what I want too. I want it for all of us. Please, have a kind, wonderful, generous, lovely, grateful Thanksgiving. Namaste. Let's take a moment in prayer. Taking a deep breath and tapping into that space of the heart where that longing for connection lives, where that light of love shines brightly, where that heart flame flickers eternally. Let's be reminded here and now that there is only one light of life, an energy ever expanding and transforming, an essence and a power that lives within and as each one of us, a love that is the life energy of everything that is. Let us remember to pause and appreciate every little thing. Every word, every smile, every stranger's eyes we see, every piece of pumpkin pie. Let us remember and know that all of the bounty of life is laid out before us that we might be in gratitude, that we might appreciate the good that is here and now as us. For that is truly the consciousness of oneness, that is truly the energy of life that sustains and nourishes us. Let us wrap ourselves in the sights and smells and experiences of Thanksgiving, whether they are alone in our kitchen or via video across country or in the room with a bunch of loved ones or friends. Let us know that we give thanks in all things so that we might trust and appreciate life's unfolding. What I know, what I have proven to myself, is that I can come through anything that looks like an obstacle or adversity or something scary. That I can still stand in love, in my truth, in my gratitude, and see and appreciate the wholeness of the picture that is life wherever I am standing. For what is true in God is true everywhere. What is true in my heart is true in the one heart. And I am grateful, so very thankful, so appreciative of this good life in all of its many forms, its unexpected surprises, its beautiful souls, its fabulous food, and even its scarier dimensions. So appreciative for what I know is that out of all things only good comes, and that we are blessed by the seen and the unseen, in expected ways and unexpected ways. And this blessing is sure to be had by all. For all is one in spirit. And in our gratitude, we let that simply unfold this week, for this holiday, for life eternal in front of us. It is good and very good and very, very good. And so it is. Okay, let's say an affirmation, shall we? You'll find it in your bulletin. I'll say each sentence and have you repeat it, and that's for the benefit of our folks that are out there on the live stream. Thanksgiving is my affirmation of the divine presence. Is my affirmation of the divine presence. My prayer is thank you, and my actions are kind. My actions are kind. And so it is. All right, I want to remind you that our contribution baskets are in the back of the room. For those of you online, there is a donate button on our website and on Facebook. I want to let you know that as you give generously, this congregation rises, not only in consciousness, but in practical measures too. And I'm grateful. This is just the best place to be as far as I can see. And to have all of you here and contributing and making it your own, for this is truly your spiritual home, is just a wonderful thing, and it just gets better and better all the time. If you'd like, if you have an offering today, you can take it in your hand or simply hold it in your heart and say with me our prosperity affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now.
All right. This song is very, very simple. It's two parts. So the first part, I'm going to just do it by myself, and then Jeff and I are going to do it with me. So it's, I'm on the right part. As we leave this sanctuary, as we go our separate ways, repeat it. May the love of God you try it with me? As we leave this sanctuary, as we go our separate ways, may the love of God surround you, hold you in its warm embrace. Pretty simple, right? Here's the second half. I'll be praying for you. Oh, oh, oh. You'll be praying for me. Yeah. May the blessing of peace go from hand to hand till we're together again. And then we're just going to repeat that. So let's try it again. So, do the lead in, a little bit of the lead in. I'll be praying for you. Come on, there you go. You'll be praying for me. Yeah. May the blessing of peace go from hand to hand till we're together again. Doesn't that feel good? It really feels good. I love this. All right, let's fire it up, Jeff. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, it's a little bit of Isley Brothers feel to it too. Nothing wrong with that. Are you ready? Here we go. As we leave this sanctuary, as we go our separate ways, may the love of God surround you, hold you in its warm embrace. Second half. I'll be praying for you. Oh, 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 you'll be praying for me. Yeah. May the blessing of peace go from hand to hand. When? Till we're together again. Then we repeat that. Till we're together again. Let's do the whole thing all over again. All right. As we leave this sanctuary, as we go our separate ways, may the love of God surround you. Amen. Hold you in its warm embrace. My favorite part. What? I'll be praying for you. Oh, oh, oh. You'll be praying for me. Yes. May the blessing of peace go from hand to hand. You got it, you got it. Till what? Till we're together again. Let's repeat that. Together again. Gonna take it up a notch. As we leave this sanctuary, as we go our separate ways, may the love of God surround you. Oh, yeah. May it in your warm. Help me out. I'm going to mess it up. Second half. I'll be praying for you. I know that you will. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You'll be praying for me. Yes. And may the blessing of peace go from hand to hand. To what? Till we're together again. We're just going to repeat that over and over and over and over. Together again. Till we're together again. It's our last time. Together again. You're the best students ever. And I really heard you. Thank you, guys. We're getting ready for our Christmas show. It's time to warm up. You know what I mean?
Thank you. All right, so a few announcements we have going on. We've already done this, but I just want to remind you of our Kindness Project. There are more cards in the foyer, so grab one if you haven't for this coming week. Remember, if you don't have a card, that's fine. You know what works really well is your shopping list that sticks on a magnet on your fridge. It's that long, skinny paper. Just use both sides. Hey, there's no excuse to not be kind, right? All right, so keep that going. This is our last week. This will be, when we finish by next week, it'll be 21 days, and you know that's long enough to make a new habit. So that's what we're looking for here. I want to remind you also that there is a gratitude service, but not here this year. This year we're participating in the Claremont Interfaith Gratitude Service. So in the front you'll find little sheets that have the address. It's being held at Our Lady of the Assumption Catholic Church, which is on Berkeley in Claremont. It's Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving at 7 p.m. It is an interfaith service. There'll be people speaking from all different backgrounds, different kinds of prayers, a little bit of music. It's going to be lovely, just lovely. So I really encourage you to come. It's a great way to start the Thanksgiving holiday with like-minded people and truly acknowledge and live the inclusion, the oneness, the all of us in this together feeling that we teach, that we live, that we walk. It's going to be beautiful. So I do invite you to come, again, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock at Our Lady of the Assumption. Okay, we also have, did I miss this? Okay, no, we didn't. Let's see. Big tent. It's at St. Ambrose, right, Drac? Yes. Okay, so at St. Ambrose Episcopal Church, there's a production of It's a Wonderful Life happening in a big tent in the parking lot. There are tickets available. These little postcards are out in the foyer with all the information about how to get them. It happens Friday through Sunday nights between the 26th of November and the 19th of December. So you have a couple weekends in there where you can take part. It should be a blast. I mean, who doesn't love the story of It's a Wonderful Life, right? And, you know, when was the last time you were in a big tent that wasn't for somebody else's wedding, right? This could be a good time. All right, so grab a little postcard, see about getting your tickets, maybe go with a couple friends, because, you know, we're kind of sticking our toe in the water of getting back out there to be with people during the season of giving and receiving and love. So take advantage of that. This is a safe way to do just that. Yes, you will have to wear your mask. Who cares? It'll be a blast. Let's see what else we have. You may have noticed there's a little something going on in the parking lot today. This is the ITEX convention. This is a barter business exchange that we belong to. I like to think of it kind of like monopoly money. You know, we have monopoly money, they have monopoly money, and we trade monopoly money for services and goods. So this is their convention where everybody's got a booth saying what they offer. We've used them to help clean our carpets before. We're looking at maybe contracting to get our eaves and doors painted, you know, where the paint is peeling. That's it's a way that we can do all that for a minimum out-of-pocket cash because we have credits built up. So, and there is, for those of you that are interested, we are invited to take part in the petting zoo or the pony rides. I'm just saying, it's probably been a while since you pet a goat, and I'm thinking there's probably goats over there. So feel free to go over and pet the goats or whatever else you might do. And the board and I are going to take a little stroll around the inside and see if there's other things we can spend our monopoly money on that will benefit the center. So that's going on. Let's see. Service, kindness project, ITEX, all right. So the last piece is from my heart to yours. I want to thank all of you who took part in and helped prepare last week's celebration party, really. It was so fun. And we had a great turnout, and the food was fabulous. And the company was great. And I would say if you helped with this, you should stand up. I think it's almost the whole room. But I think you should stand up if you were part of the planning, feeding, singing. Come on, Mickey, stand up, set up, clean up. Yeah. And there's a few more people, too, I know, who aren't here this week. Thank you all so much. You know, it's been 5 years, and sometimes it feels like yesterday when I accidentally parked in the front parking lot because I didn't know how to get in the building. And I don't do that anymore. And then it feels like I've been home here forever. And what I want you to know is that it's just the first 5 years, that we have great things to do together, that this community is thriving and vibrant and of service to each other. And because of that, I know that we will continue as a spiritual community. And I can't think of any place I'd rather be. This is just the best. You are all just the best, and I love you dearly. Thank you all so, so much for all of that. Okay, I think those are all my announcements. Anybody else have anything else? Did I miss anything? All right, I'll see you Wednesday night at Our Lady of Assumption. Even those of you that have not been in a Catholic church for a very long time, you are welcome. Come give thanks. That's who we are. Let's stand up, let's spread out a little bit, and let's rock out as we hear some music to close us out today.
Take a look at the person next to you and say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.